What exactly is the identity of a city? Is it determined by the nicknames attached to it, or by the practices of its people? Salatiga is known by many names: City of Tolerance, City of Retirees, even City of Slow Living. However, these many nicknames raise the question, which one truly represents Salatiga? Salatiga is a relatively small city, consisting of 4 districts and 23 sub-districts. However, throughout the region, one cultural practice can be found almost everywhere, namely drumblek. From the perspective of city identity, is drumblek worthy of being called the identity of Salatiga? To answer this, we need to first trace the history and development of drumblek itself.
Mengenai sejarah drumblek, itu sebetulnya lahir dari spontanitas ketika warga Panjuran diminta oleh Kelurahan Kutowinangun untuk ikut partisipasi dalam rangka ikut terlibat di Karnaval Kota Madya Salatiga. Secara kebetulan ketua panitia yang ada di kampung Panjuran sini menghubungi saya, meminta tolong untuk mengurusi membentuk tim agar bisa partisipasi ke Karnaval Kota Madya. Di dalam performanya, penampilannya diiringi musik yang didominasi peralatan-peralatan tong, kaleng, tong atau orang umum biasa nyebut drum, dan kaleng, orang Jawa biasa bilang blek. Nah, itu akhirnya jadi kesenian drumblek.
Drumblek is not just a musical art form, but an expression of the creativity of the people of Salatiga, born out of simplicity and limitations. One of the distinctive features of drumblek lies in the way it produces sound, namely through a creative process of transforming used items, such as barrels, drums, and cans, into musical instruments of aesthetic value. The selection of used materials or recycled materials in drumblek is certainly not without reason. More than just musical instruments, these used objects hold deep meaning. Behind their distinctive sounds lie messages about creativity, simplicity, and the community's ability to turn limitations into valuable works of art.
Maknanya ya sebetulnya satu, bahwa orang dalam menampilkan sesuatu atau orang bisa eksis tidak harus dengan barang-barang mewah atau dengan biaya yang sangat mahal. Dengan memanfaatkan barang-barang yang ada di lingkungan kita, dengan sedikit inovasi dan kreasi, itu akhirnya bisa setiap orang berekspresi. Kalau toh mampu membangun suatu harmoni, itu akan menjadi surprise. Maknanya itu.
Almost every village has a drumblek group. It is present in parades, celebrations, and even competition. It is not exclusive. It is not expensive. It was not born in a grand building. It grew from narrow alleys and residence yards. The question is, if something exists in almost every corner of the city, isn't that a sign of identity? And is Drumlek worthy of being the city's identity?
Ya bisa, karena kan ini sudah mulai arah ke sana. Jadi bahwa ikon kota Salatiga itu musiknya salah satunya Drumlek. Bahwa bahkan dinas terkait merencanakan menjadi WBTB, warisan budaya tak benda itu, dan nantinya akan dijadikan bahwa itu hak patennya kota Salatiga.
Of the many nicknames attached to the city of Salatiga, Drumlek is not just a slogan, but a living cultural practice. It was not born out of policy or branding, but from the initiative and creativity of the community itself. From recycled materials transformed into musical instruments, people create sounds, rhythms, and celebrations in urban spaces. What began as a simple expression of creativity has gradually evolved into a living tradition. Dozens, nearly 100 Drumlek groups form part of one large community. They come not only from Salatiga, but also from surrounding areas such as Semarang Regency. Performances and communities can now be found in neighboring areas, showing how this cultural practice has spread and inspired other communities. However, when the music starts and the procession moves through the streets, boundaries seem to disappear. All that remains is a sense of togetherness between the performers and the audience. This development shows that Drumlek is no longer just a local performance. Instead, it has become a cultural marker closely associated with Salatiga. Even when performed outside the city, Drumlek still carries the image and story of its place of origin. In this way, the spread of Drumlek outside Salatiga does not weaken its connection to the city. On the contrary, it strengthens its position as a cultural identity that represents Salatiga to a wider community. Recognition has also begun to emerge. The Salatiga city government has recognized Drumlek as part of the city's identity, and it has been registered as communal intellectual property in the form of traditional cultural expression. However, identity is not solely determined by recognition. Identity is something that lives within the community, is played, celebrated, and passed down from generation to generation. As long as the rhythm of Drumlek continues to echo through the streets of Salatiga, it remains more than just a performance. It becomes a reflection of the community, their creativity, and the story of the city itself.